So boat captains, GPS, and open seas, aka don't be lost. So when you are on a cruise, my three favorite times of being on a cruise, in no order, is sunrise, because it's beautiful seeing the sun come up over the ocean. Sunset, for the opposite, it's great to see the sun set over the ocean. And middle of the night when you're walking out on the deck on a boat is probably one of my favorite times of my life, because the stars are out. If you're lucky enough to be like we were, we had a moon. We had a fairly good sized moon. It was just gorgeous, cascading off the water. It was brilliant. And the thing about being out on the open water at night is it's both beautiful and terrifying. It's beautiful because the water and the sound and the smell and the stars and just the vibe of being on the open water at night is truly intoxicating. And it's terrifying because it's black as pitch except for stars. If you're lucky to have stars, a couple of nights it was overcast, so it was nothing. It was dark. And you have no bearings. You really honestly have no idea where you are. There's no stars to give you any kind of constellations. You're really trusting that the captain and all the tools that they have at their resources are going to get you where you're going. You really have to, for people who are really into control, you really have to let go and let the captain do what they're paid to do. And it takes a lot of self-control to make that happen. And I find that life is a lot like that. I was thinking about this on the boat. Life is a lot like being on the open water, except we have some tools at our disposal, and it's our choice whether we choose to accept it or not. And I say life is like that because it's both beautiful and a little scary. It's beautiful because you have relationships and friends and all of the amazing moments that you create throughout your life. But it's also a little scary because there are very few times in your life that beyond a shadow of a doubt the 100% direction that you must go. There's always a hair's bit of doubt back there because nobody knows for sure. Nobody knows the future, and it can be a little overwhelming sometimes. I totally understand that. So the tools that we have that we need to employ are very simple. First is your mind. We have our minds. We can discern whether something is right or wrong. We can discern when something is dangerous or safe, like being on the third tier of the back streets of an island in the middle of the Caribbean. You can start to get that little spidey sense. You can start to tell if things are not as safe as you think they are. You can also know the difference between right and wrong. And I'm not talking about moral ambiguity stuff here. I'm talking about right and wrong. There's certain things that are just right, and there's certain things that are just wrong. All the other stuff we can debate. We have experience. Life has shown us the direction we should go through all of the good and all of the bad times. We've been through as individuals so much. We've all lost people. We've all lost things. We've all gone through horrible lows and incredible highs. We've all climbed the mountaintop and seen the other side and been excited and encouraged and energized by what we've seen and what we've envisioned. That's life experience, and that life experience dictates for a lot of us the directions we should go, because we've learned through that experience the right way and the wrong way. And even if we don't know exactly 25 steps forward, we do know, because of our life experience and using our thought process, we can probably figure out the next correct step, one step at a time. And it's that experience that teaches us how we're supposed to live and the directions that we should be heading. We also have knowledge. Now, this is different than experience, and this is different from our logic of our minds. Knowledge is things that we can learn from books, webinars, other people. This is the education that we get through schooling or any other technological ways. There's different ways that we all learn. but we have the ability to learn and apply what we are learning to our lives, and that should help. That's why I love reading so much, because I can see what works for people and I can see what doesn't work for people. I'm currently on the audiobook. I'm listening to Creativity Inc., the story of Ed Catmull's story of Pixar, learning some really simple things that they did that messed up the company, that they eradicated and fixed, and it's transformed the company to what it is today. We also have at our disposal our friends and our family. We can have those relationships that help us through those rough times, navigate those treacherous waters, if you will, use the analogy, that can point us along the way. They can be there with us when we're struggling. They can encourage us and motivate us. That's one of the things that I try to bring to the table every day, is some motivation and some encouragement, and just provide a little hope. If you're struggling, if there's some bad crap going on in your life, it's just a season and it will pass. That's the benefit of having friends and family. That's the benefit of the other people, the relationships that you have. That's the tools that we've been given through either blood or the relationships that we've made. There's two more. Next to last one is passions. The passions that we have are what propel us through life, driving us forward to achieve and to accomplish things. When you're driving a cruise ship, you have fuel that gets you from point A to point B. And if you are ever in a position where you're in the middle of the ocean and you have no fuel, you are stuck, and it's a horrible place to be. It's scary, it's dangerous, it's maddening, it's a really bad spot. Life can be that way too. If you are living a life with no passion, and by passion I mean there's not something that's driving you out of bed in the morning, then it's not my favorite place to be. I've been there several times. It's really a horrible spot. You feel stuck. You feel like you're encased in concrete, and you're really just grinding every day for the sake of grinding. You're not really moving towards a goal, and you need that passion to help fuel your life. Last on the list is realizing that life is meant to be a journey, and all these tools that we've talked about, our minds, experience, education, the relationships, the passions that we have, all of these tools working together can help you to not drift one way too far or the other. If you're going through life and there's no stars, it's black as night, and you're on the waves, you can discern the proper way to go. Maybe not for an extended amount of time, but a small amount of time, you can start taking the next right steps, and then take the next right step and the next right step. And the thing is if you utilize these tools in your everyday life, and you really think of life as a journey, and you really start mapping out and plotting the course for your life, and you really allow your life to set sail, I think that you're going to be amazed at where you wind up. And for a lot of people, I think they struggle when they get hung up on certain things. And it's just like, taking all of the momentum, all of the motion that they have in their life, and just setting adrift and allowing the water and the waves and the ocean to just take them wherever the ocean wants to go. And that's not really living a life. Living a life is starting from point A and getting to point B